Hey. I stop to think for a second that there's been a report of thefts in houses that have been abandoned because of the gas leaks. There's a black male and a Hispanic male going around robbing people's houses. So I've got to be careful. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, you live around here?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. We're asking everybody, man.
I understand because of what's been happening with the robberies.
What street you live on?
I live on can I come by the car?
Yeah, come on.
Okay. I live on Espanola.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going over here to TJ. I'm gonna go run around the track and do some sprints.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. We're asking everybody, man.
No, it's cool. I just wanted
See
it
you
on
with
the
your GoPro.
Yeah.
There you
So put it up there on YouTube. So
go. Catch a coyote or something.
I have caught coyotes, coyotes, opossums, everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Enjoy your run.
All right. Thanks, man. Oh, I gotta be careful. That's why you have the GoPro. It's like having insurance. Yes, I could get shot dead, but hopefully when they start gathering evidence, it's like, oh, he was mouthing off to us. Well, that's not what the GoPro was saying. He was actually quite polite before he put 42 bullets in his back. Like I said, man, some fucking asshole decides he wants to start stealing from people, and so that makes my walk a lot tougher. I feel bad for you to a certain point, but man, if you're hurting that bad, go talk to somebody. I'm sure someone will help you out. If you're just one of those assholes who's like, hey, I see an opportunity to steal something. And I start getting I start having those extremist thoughts like I wish I was in the Middle East where you steal, they cut your hand off. Do I think that's extreme? Yeah. Does it work? Yeah. You go out to shake somebody's hand, they see a nub back there, they know exactly what kind of character you are. I'm just saying that thieves are stupid. You're gonna be something. If you're gonna take something from people, be a con man. A thief takes. A con man gets. Con men are legal in the United States of America. Thieves barely. Like I said, I stated my intent because I am in a war zone. People say that might be extreme. I was like, no. You treat every situation like, in other words, this is an area where things are kind of in a chaotic state. I wasn't thinking. Especially wasn't thinking when I came out here later than usual. The sad thing is I would have never known about the local news if it wasn't for the fact that my parents still watch regular TV. And I just happened to overhear all that stuff in the background. Otherwise, I'd have been out here like, what are you guys doing out here? And they'd been like, well, there was some thefts in the area. And I'd be like, oh, okay. See, I thought that was in my area, the Portal area. But as bad as I feel for myself and my family, it's almost 3 weeks and we're still without gas. These folks here are probably going to be without it for longer. Every day they make a little bit more progress, but for the most part, they still ain't got the meter hooked up in my house, and they still ain't got the... Well, that's all it is. They put the line in. The guys came in the house and did the inspection, or did the, made sure that everything was all nice and tight. Now I'm just waiting for them to put the gas main in and light the pilots, or the gas meter and light the pilots. So that's another night of showering at 24-hour fitness. I gotta say though, they went up on the membership fees, but they got really nice showers over there. Just everything else is crap. Like the hooks that I hang the towels and stuff on, the hooks are broken. That's the thing that gets me about 24-hour fitness. They keep raising the rates on stuff. They got the same old raggedy ass equipment. Somebody broke the ab machine. The rubber's peeling off the weights. They had a set of bumper plates over there, and somebody, I guess, they wore out the 45. So we got one 45 and we got another one. We got an incomplete set. The problem with 24-hour fitness is if they would simply drop the pretense and make the membership fee $50 a month, their stuff would last a lot longer, but unfortunately they wouldn't have as many people signing up. I'll pay $50 a month for a gym membership if I knew there wasn't going to be any riffraff tearing up everything and all that stuff was going to be maintained. Go ahead, man. I guess he was trying to be nice, but I was like, I don't need nice. I live in a city. Anyway, LA Fitness doesn't have that problem. LA Fitness doesn't stay open 24/7. Construction double cross. I know they got old gas lines in this place. We had exposed heater pipes that you would burn yourself if you touched them. Like I got a 2nd degree burn accidentally bumping into one of them. And I just kind of accepted it. I was like, well, I guess that's just the way it is. Today it'd be like, no, y'all gotta wrap those pipes in something. They may not use gas here. They might use heating oil. I doubt that though. I think they use gas. That's why hasn't there been any trucks up here? Like I said, they built this place in 1954. Anyway. Hour Fitness probably having their survey. There's like, oh, you're willing to pay $50 a month? Oh, like you'd be the only 24/7 service. Yes, for $50 a month, I'd swing that. For that 50, man, I'd like to have state-of-the-art equipment. I'd like to have an area for free weights. What am I trying to say here? I'd like to have a powerlifting area. Well, that's the problem right there. Is powerlifting men are cheap bastards. No, I take that back. I take that back, because what was it, the one that Ronnie Coleman goes to? I think it's like $75 a month or something like that. Some of these places, they ain't even got air conditioner or nothing like that. But for $50 a month, I want to be able to use chalk. I want there to be dedicated areas for deadlift. Bumper plates for doing Olympic lifts. Round weights. Just to have round weights is when I'm doing the power clean. I'm sitting there using those octagon things and they don't roll. But in this country, you gotta look at the trends. Nobody does heavy lifting with plates anymore. It's all kettlebells and elastic bands and jump boxes and treadmills and occasionally the sled. I don't do any of that stuff. I wake up one morning and the gym that I used to know is going away. One of the things I always hated though is that 5 o'clock rolls around, you go over to the gym. There's just too many people. That's why you see me working out at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. The only thing I hate about working out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning is you get the regulars up there and they want to chit chat. And I was like, I don't want to do that with the people at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Why do I want to do this at 3 o'clock in the morning with you? So you be polite and you have a little chit chat, and then all of a sudden you lose focus and you start chit chatting. And sometimes you wonder what the game is thinking. Of all the places you could be, 9:30 at night, you're out here walking and all of a sudden there just happens to be a guy in the parking lot coming up right at the time you're going around the track. like there's nobody out here, but then I forgot that it's spring break. Is out there somebody out there running a tennis court? It's not costing me any money, so it's none of my business. No, it makes sense that they close that up. I just wish I had a way of knowing before I walk all the way over here. But you knew, didn't you? In my heart, yes. In my heart, I knew that gate was going to be closed. Someday teachers is going to drop the pretense and get rid of the goalposts. Like, look, this is just not going to be a football school anymore. Probably save them a fortune. You know better than that. Put that foot down. There you go. Every time I think I come out here too late, someone else that comes out here that makes me think okay. Night figures right as I get warmed up. reason they stopped off here and they stopped for a second and then left is they wanted to use the field. And they saw that sign and then they saw my camera and they said, "No, it's all right." They probably just saw the sign now. the air out here is garbage. Lungs are burning. I guess you say my throat is burning like I'm smoking a cigarette. What's that haze? All right. Come on, baby. No, ever since I started watching cricket, I wonder if you can play cricket out here. Problem is the track gets in the way here. I don't think it's big enough. I think the edge here, that's when it becomes a proper cricket field. But it's too easy to get 4s and 6s out here. Here, as I can tell, it's like a So what have you learned? Test cricket is a grind fest. T20 is a hitting derby. That's about it, man. Fielding and cricket, sometimes it can be exciting. Them dudes ain't got no gloves, so you see a lot of guys trying to protect themselves. And instead of, like in baseball, it's like, I got the glove. And he dives out and he puts himself in the line drive. Cricket, none of that shit's happening. Some guy gets a pop fly, and then all of a sudden the guy looks kind of athletic, but it's kind of neat when they hit the boundary and they tap it back in and then catch it. But none of them cats are trying to sacrifice themselves, man. You see all the tape on their fingers. And the guys who do wear gloves, their fingers are all jacked up, the wicket keepers. So whatever glove they're using ain't giving them any kind of protection. You see a catcher's mitt, this is big, giant, thick. It is a mitt. It has no fingers in it. The catchers still have a hard time with guys who pitch like 90 miles an hour. Cricket, you got them damn bowlers and they can hurl that sucker 120, 140 miles an hour because they get a run and start. The only thing that saves some of the wicket keepers is when that sucker hits the dirt. When you got a bowler that's sitting there throwing a bunch of no balls, throwing wide, you're gonna have a tough day. That's one thing I like about watching cricket too, man, is dudes smash into the wickets. And you just see all these splinters going everywhere. It's like some kind of action movie or something. 1 minute it's there, next minute it's just an explosion of shrapnel. In Big Bash, Big Bash is so commercial and tacky though. Dude's got LEDs in the wickets and cheerleaders and loud horns and shit, and I'm like, what is this? It's like, is this cricket or WWE Raw? That's not to say that I'm just enamored with Test cricket though. I see the dudes all wearing white, and I'm like, who's who? And they're out there all day, just whacking them. And if a team doesn't feel like it that day, it's gonna be a long match. I was watching England clown Australia, and I was just like, man, the Aussies didn't want to be there. Beat them by like 200 runs. No, I was kind of thinking that if I had the money, I'd set up a few cricket teams, but it would be like the American cricket, cricket, American T20, and I'd make it to where you can wear gloves. I just want to see what it's like, just once. Does it change? How much does it change the game? Are there going to be fewer runs? Is it going to be more exciting? They're like, you can't do that, and I was like, you can do that. Because the guys talking about tradition in cricket are the same guys who talk about football players aren't as tough. American football players aren't as tough as they used to be, or the people who talk about rugby union, the new scrum rules have ruined the game, or who don't like league because there are no scrums at all. Games have to evolve. Especially to appeal to the other generations. You see a guy who's been playing this game for like 20 years, and he struggles to get up out of bed, or he struggles to get out of bed, to brush his teeth, even to hold a pen or a ball. That's got to change. When you're talking to him and you're telling him about the great games he played and he can't remember any of them, that's got to change. Even chess evolves, The basic rules haven't really changed, but the traditions have. Maybe chess hasn't changed enough. That's why it's kind of, I don't know, chess is kind of an odd bird. Its popularity ebbs and wanes, so I was playing it for a while. Oh, checkmate, double cross. By the time they finish, it's going to be summer. People won't need gas as much. It was kind of funny. I got a gas bill today, and I don't know why they sent it. Why they sent it the way they did is because I was like, they sent me a gas bill and it says you owe 0.00. I said okay. I said it wouldn't have mattered if I owed 100.00 or 1.00.001. There was going to be a gas bill that wasn't going to get paid. I was like, what are you going to do? Cut my gas off? It's just a weird feeling when you look down and you see. I hope one day to look at my electric bill and see negative numbers. I've heard exciting things happen when that happens. People look over and it's like negative, or it's like 23 cents or negative 15 cents. It's like, what does a negative bill mean? It means that you actually gave them some energy. My goal is to get solar panels on the house and then put a gas generator in the back. Basically to decentralize myself from the main grid, partly. I don't have the real estate to do it fully. Like, technically I could. I could cover my entire front lawn with solar panels. But I don't trust my neighbors not to damage it. Not just my neighbors, anybody who comes through the neighborhood. It'd be a bitch to leave those clean too, man. Birds crapping all over it, cats crapping all over it, dogs crapping all over it. They probably wouldn't touch it though. It's like, what's up with this smooth, warm surface? Now I can't put my anus down on that. She told me to be careful. She was talking about holes in the ground. I never stopped to think, man. I just be careful because there's cops out here. I don't hate the cops, I hate that they exist. There are places where there are no police. And those civilizations work. there are no police because everybody knows each other, and most people, and they can resolve their conflicts in an amicable fashion. Blood sugar's low? Yeah. That, and I don't really say amicable too much. So my muscle memory on the linguistics is a little rusty. So I've got a clumsy tongue. I guess I'm just not the cunning linguist I thought I was. I love that joke. Every man dreams of being sesquipedalian, but people work out on their shoulders and traps more than they do on their tongue, so just belting out something like sesquipedalian can be kind of a challenge. Trabalinguas. I like the Spanish version. Tongue twisters, trabalinguas. Which I think loosely translates into tongue troublers. But anyway, what was I saying? Bottom line is there's societies where people can talk it out. Where there's a little shouting. Both sides go to their respective corners, and then in a couple of days they can't remember why they were yelling at each other. As long as there's a police around, there's a sign that there are broken homes. Every time you see the police, you're reminded of neglected children, absentee fathers, unprepared mothers, greed, low self-esteem. Every time you see the police, you're reminded of that. There are problems in the world that are still being dealt with with brutal methods. The policeman's arsenal is kind of a tricky thing. It goes from the non-lethal to the lethal. They carry pepper spray, but how often do they use it? I carry pepper spray, and you can't use it all the time. Like right now, my pepper spray is useless because there's a slight breeze. The gun doesn't have that problem. The only time a gun has a problem with the wind is if you're trying to pick off some poor bastard from a mile away. But in the ranges that police officers have to deal with, wind is not an issue. There are more people, which means we need more officers. Which means that a lot of times you think that these guys are getting the training they need, but the bottom line is I think there are police officers that know how to get around the testing. And so on paper they look like they know what they're doing. But the reality of the situation is it's, you know, there's a quick twitch, and if you gave Barney Fife enough coaching, even Barney Fife could pass a police test. And I hate it when the news media says, well, he was a veteran on the force, been there 20 years. I said, well, chances are Barney Fife was on the force for a long time too. Now, the badge doesn't mean as much to me because I know that human beings are flawed. I asked him to trust this guy because he said, trust me, he's had tons of training and he's accountable if he does this, that, and the other. And I just rolled my eyes at that. And I was like, if that were true, there wouldn't be a police union. I like the cameras keep us all honest. So I like the idea they're wearing body cams. But it's really queer when you see a police officer on the body camera mess up and then he still lies on his statement. I was like, wait, you are aware that you were wearing a body camera, right? I don't like the idea that the police department holds on to that body cam footage. You know, in a dream world, and we're not quite there yet with the wireless infrastructure. In a dream world, it would be transmitting to some server farm somewhere that was independently monitored. What am I trying to say here? It would be put off in a server somewhere by an independent authority. Some company would be holding on to all the body cam footage that was coming in off of Wi-Fi. Police can't take the cards out, erase them, or do anything to them. Only the independent authority can. So when they turn in their body cameras, they have no access to the storage data storage. Yeah. I need my soup. Man, it's finally quiet out here. It's eerie. That's what you wanted, isn't it? It is. I guess as long as we live next to that airport, it'll never be truly quiet. It's almost midnight and they got the damn engines firing still. That was the thing about Oklahoma, man. I was out there. Like, if I was in Oklahoma right now, I wouldn't be hearing anything but my own voice. I mean, I wouldn't be hearing anything. Like, I wouldn't even hear animals sometimes. This slight haze that you see wouldn't be here. It would just be pitch black, and all you see was my light, maybe a few feet in front of me. At least that's how Oklahoma was when I went there last. That was almost 20 years ago. I imagine today it's just like this. I laugh because I got people that work at the hospital that they well, there's my one asshole that breaks the silence. Anyway, we got folks at the hospital, they live in Oklahoma and then drive here. One of the guys in the surgery department, he was like, I got tired of that, man. He says, I bought me an apartment down here. I think he lives in Denton. It's an hour-long drive versus a 3-hour-long drive. It annoys me. Reading a guy yesterday on Quora talk about the basic income and how the traction that's coming from it is the fact that the people paying the taxes would be the businesses. We're running into a state right now where the money flow between workers and businesses has gone down to a trickle. So that might be happening anyway. We may get to a point where people are making so little of their taxes now, and businesses primarily pay the taxes. I mean, America is now a hustler economy. It's a hustler country. You know, hustlers don't have jobs that last forever. A hustler one week he might be selling stuff out of vending machines. The next week he might be working at a car wash. Another week he might be selling DVDs. The freelancer economy, where you don't get employment on a long-term basis. It's like, I got a contract for you for 1 day, 2 days. People will covet you because it's like, oh man, you got a job for a month. Man, you wanted to work for a while. And it bugs me because there's a bunch of rich people that have a ton of money, but the money's not going to do anything. It's all tied up in investment and savings, socked away for a rainy day fund, that'll never come, or being invested in a business that's never going to use all of it completely. Companies like, we're struggling to make sales. You're struggling to make sales because nobody's got any money. Rich people don't buy stuff. You get rich by being shrewd and greedy. You don't get it writing checks. You're talking a lot. I'm tired as hell. My legs feel like they're made out of rubber. At least the back of my neck stopped hurting. A lot of times that's a sign that my sinus is changing, which means that the weather's changing. I haven't been able to smell anything or taste anything in about a month. But the good news is it's not as bad as it used to be. It slowed me down a whole bunch. Now it's just a mild annoyance. But I want a practical America is what I'm saying. I said I want a practical America, not exactly a profitable one. My dream is that your kids from about your kids will get an early education in reading, writing, and arithmetic up until about the 3rd grade. Then they will get tutors and mentors that will sit there and try to figure out what exactly the kids' aptitudes and likes might be. And then from 9 years old all the way up to high school, your kid will be trying different professions. Your kid will be a mechanic. Your kid will try programming. Your kid will study law. And we'll try to see what, like I said, the other problem I had when I was in high school is they were sitting there gearing you saying, you gotta go to college, you gotta go to college. Still a lot of assholes out here. Very few people were saying, why are you going to college? I didn't have a why, I just did it because everyone was telling me, go to college. And then while I was in college, I had to stumble around and waste a lot of money and credits to figure out what I wanted to do. And then by the time I got my degree, it was in a field that I wasn't really super enthused about. I wanted to build robots. But in high school, it was like, we don't have a program for that. Okay. I got into college, they started having robotics things, but it was in its infancy. And it wasn't really a marketable degree. So you want to know what happens? That's when America's going to eat its lunch. And you got Europe and Asia way ahead of the United States in robotics development. And the US is just now talking about putting a program together because it uses the free market to determine whether or not people get into that. And the free market doesn't want to pay for robots when it's got... You know what the problem with the free market is? It's the same reason why the ancient world never developed machines. They said, why do we have these machines when we've got plenty of cheap slaves? That's what's wrong with the free market. Somebody had decided, hey, we're going to go into robotics in the ancient world. They'd still be owning the world to this day. That's a stupid dog. Nah, it's no secret where I live now. Shit. Still, I gotta take a picture of my house. I'm kind of ashamed of it. It needs a coat of paint. It needs a lot of things, but it is sturdy. It just doesn't look right.